My name's Megan Carter. I'm 33 years old, and last month, I watched my entire reputation crumble before my morning coffee. It started with the sound of my phone buzzing, again and again, until it fell off the nightstand. At first, I thought it was work, but then I saw the notifications, Instagram tags, mentions, messages from people I hadn't spoken to in years. My heart dropped. When I opened the app, I froze. Hundreds of comments, laughing emojis. People writing, "OMG, this can't be the same Megan," and "she's really changed." I didn't understand what they were talking about until I saw it. An old picture. Actually, several. Ones I'd buried deep in my camera roll years ago from a time I'd rather forget. I felt my stomach twist as I scrolled. My own face stared back at me, messy hair, tear-streaked makeup, red Solo cup in my hand, a caption that made me sound broken. But what shattered me wasn't the photos. It was who posted them. Someone I grew up with. Someone who used to braid my hair on family vacations and share secrets under the covers when we were kids. The caption read, "Crazy to think this was my cousin a few years ago. Glow-ups are real." Hundreds of likes, thousands of views, and my pain turned into a punchline. I remember sitting there numb, scrolling through the comments like they were blades. People laughed, others speculated, some defended me. But all I could hear was my own heartbeat pounding in my ears. I called her. She didn't answer. I texted, nothing. That's when it hit me. The betrayal didn't come from a stranger or a bully. It came from blood. And in that moment, I realized something I wish I hadn't. Family doesn't always protect you. Sometimes they light the match themselves. I grew up in a big, loud family where everyone talked over each other, where birthdays meant too much food and too many opinions. We weren't perfect, but we were close, or at least, that's what I used to believe. My cousin Amber and I were only 5 years apart. I was the quiet one, the responsible one, while she was the family's golden girl. Blonde hair, perfect smile, always with a phone in her hand. Even as a kid, she knew how to pose. Amber was the kind of person who could make a grocery store trip look like a fashion shoot. By 28, she'd built a small following online. Nothing huge, but enough that she called herself a content creator. The family loved it. My aunt bragged about her constantly. "Amber's brand is growing. She might get sponsored soon." Meanwhile, I worked in marketing, kept to myself, and tried not to roll my eyes when Amber filmed herself during Christmas dinner. She'd say things like, "People love family content," and shove her phone in everyone's face. I used to laugh it off. But the truth is, Amber and I were once inseparable. Sleepovers every weekend, matching pajamas, sharing makeup in high school. Then college happened, and something shifted. She started caring more about her image, her followers, her filters. There was always this quiet competition between us, one I didn't sign up for. When I got promoted, she'd post about her new collaborations. When I bought a car, she'd announce a brand deal. It was petty, but I let it go. I should have known better. Amber had this habit of using people's stories for attention. Family arguments, private moments, even heartbreaks. She'd say, "It's just content, Meg." Don't be so serious. Once, years ago, she messed up badly, something that could have ruined her. I covered for her, lied to keep her safe. I told myself family protects each other. But looking back now, I realized that was the moment she learned she could hurt me and get away with it. The morning it all blew up is burned into my memory. I woke up to the familiar ding of my phone, half asleep, sunlight spilling through the blinds. But this time it didn't stop. Buzz, buzz, buzz. My screen was a storm. Instagram tags, messages, DMs from coworkers, even one from my old college roommate. "Girl, what is happening?" When I opened the app, I couldn't breathe. There it was, Amber's post. A carousel of old pictures, all of me. Drunk at some frat party, crying outside a dorm, an old mirror selfie from the year I went through that awful breakup. She even screenshotted an old Facebook status I'd written after my dad's surgery, when I was barely holding it together. The caption read, "Can you believe this was my cousin a few years ago? Glow-ups are real. Your transformation, your family fun." Family fun. She'd turned my lowest moments into a hashtag. At first, I thought it was a prank. My chest felt tight, my hands shaking as I scrolled through the comments. People were laughing, comparing before and after photos of us. Someone wrote, "She looks rough." Thank God she fixed herself. I wanted to disappear. I texted Amber immediately. Why would you post that? Her reply came 10 minutes later. Relax, Meg. It's just funny. You look great now. People love glow-up content. I stared at her message, my blood boiling. My entire past, my pain, my privacy reduced to content. Then came the real hit. My boss liked the post. A client I worked with commented, "You've come a long way, Megan." Humiliation crawled up my spine like fire. I called Amber, straight to voicemail. I called again. Nothing. I spent that whole day deleting old photos, trying to hide what was already viral. But you can't unring a bell. Once people see something online, it's out there forever. That night, I sat in the dark, watching my phone light up with notifications. My face was everywhere, and the person who did it was probably sitting at home, refreshing her feed, counting likes. I whispered to myself, she did this for attention. And then, a colder thought, and she thinks she'll get away with it. For a few days, I did nothing. I went to work, forced smiles, pretended not to notice the whispers when people walked by my desk. But every night I'd lie in bed scrolling through Amber's post. It had over 30,000 views now. She was replying to comments like it was all a joke. At first, I thought about letting it die out. The internet moves fast, right? People forget. But Amber kept reposting my pictures in her stories, with captions like, "Throwback to the chaos years," and "Glad my cousin's thriving now." Every time I saw her name pop up, something inside me hardened. A friend from work, Jenna, finally said what I was too afraid to admit. If she's gonna make you the joke, make her the lesson. That night, I opened my laptop and started scrolling through years of screenshots. Old DMs, family group chats, texts where Amber had complained about everyone, her mom, her followers, even her best friends. I found one from 2 years ago where she begged me to delete a story because she was scared it'd hurt her brand. I didn't know what I'd do with them yet, but collecting proof felt like taking my power back. The next day, I wrote a post. Simple. No names. Just truth. It's wild how some people build an image by tearing others down. You call it content. I call it betrayal. Not everyone wants to be your storyline. I attached a black and white selfie. No filters, no smile, just honesty. By morning, the post had blown up. People commented things like, "This hit deep, and we all have that one toxic relative." Amber saw it, of course. She texted me within an hour. "Are you talking about me?" "Delete it, Meg, you're being dramatic." I didn't reply. Instead, I watched her start to unravel publicly. Vague tweets, defensive Instagram stories, trying to convince everyone she was the victim. But I wasn't done. Not even close. I'd spent years protecting her secrets, believing family meant loyalty. Now, I finally understood. Sometimes the only way to stop a manipulator is to hold up a mirror. And I was about to make sure Amber saw her reflection in front of everyone. Amber's first response was a subtweet. Some people love playing the victim when they were never that important. It didn't mention my name, but everyone knew. Our followers overlapped. My DMs filled with messages. "She's talking about you, right?" And "Wow, your cousin's getting messy." By dinner, my phone was buzzing again, this time from the family group chat. "Aunt Carol, Amber says you're attacking her online. Can we not do this publicly?" "Mom, Megan didn't start it. Uncle Rick, both of you need to delete your posts. Family business shouldn't be broadcast." I stared at the screen, my fingers trembling. Family business? Amber had made me a trending topic. Meanwhile, Amber doubled down. She posted an Instagram story, all tears and shaky voice, saying she didn't mean any harm and some people are overreacting. She even included old photos of us hugging, with the caption, "Cousins fight sometimes. Love you, Meg." I could practically hear her followers rushing to defend her. "You're such a good person. Ignore the drama." But she didn't realize people had already started connecting dots. Under my post, someone commented, "Is this about that influencer who posted her cousin's pics?" Then another. And another. The tide was shifting. I didn't have to name her. People figured it out on their own. Still, the guilt gnawed at me. I wasn't used to being the one holding the knife, even if I hadn't stabbed first. Mom told me to just let karma handle it. But karma moves slow. and Amber was still cashing in on my humiliation. So I posted again. This time I included screenshots, just a few. Nothing cruel, just enough to show her hypocrisy, her talking badly about her followers, faking candid photos, manipulating family stories for sympathy. The comments exploded. Wow, she's fake? Always knew those tears were for views. Amber messaged me. You're ruining my career. I didn't reply. Because something bigger was coming. Something she'd buried years ago. Something I had promised to keep secret. And if she thought I wouldn't break that promise after what she did to me, she was about to learn just how far betrayal can push a person. I didn't plan to expose her completely. Not at first. But the more she played the victim online, the more my phone filled with lies, people calling me jealous, bitter, trying to ride her clout. She'd turned my pain into her content, and now she was turning my defense into her redemption arc. So I decided if she wanted a story, I'd give her one. The real one. There was something Amber never told anyone. Something that had haunted me since high school. Years ago, when we were 17, Amber was obsessed with being popular. One night, she took someone's private photos, another girl's from our class, and sent them around as a joke. When it blew up, she panicked. The school launched an investigation, and she blamed me. I still remember the principal's office, Amber crying, shaking, saying, "Megan sent them, not me." I had no proof. She had tears. I took the fall, got suspended. My parents grounded me for months. Amber said she was sorry years later, in a text. She said, "You saved me. I'll never forget it." But she did forget. And when she posted those old photos of me, when she laughed at my pain, I realized she hadn't changed. She never would. So, with shaking hands, I opened my notes app and started typing. When I was 17, I took the blame for something I didn't do. I did it for family. But family doesn't get to weaponize your forgiveness. Then I attached screenshots of those old messages, Amber admitting what she'd done, thanking me for covering for her. I posted it at midnight. By morning, it had blown up, tens of thousands of shares. Screenshots all over Twitter, TikTok commentary videos dissecting every line. Amber's brand sponsors started quietly unfollowing her. People flooded her comments with, "So this is the real you?" And imagine ruining someone's life twice. At noon, she called me. Her voice was trembling. "Megan, please, delete it. I'll lose everything." I took a deep breath. "You already took everything from me once. This time you get to live with the truth." She started crying. Real tears this time. "You don't understand. People are turning on me." I almost felt sorry for her. Almost. But then I remembered sitting in that principal's office at 17, watching her cry fake tears while I took the blame. And now, finally, the truth was crying back. The call ended in silence. She deleted her accounts that night. And for the first time in weeks, maybe years, I slept without my phone lighting up beside me. The silence after a storm is strange. You think it'll feel peaceful, but at first, it's just hollow. For days, my phone barely buzzed. No new posts from Amber, no new comments. Just quiet. Then came the headlines. Small gossip blogs picked it up first. Influencer exposed by her own cousin. The screenshots were everywhere. Amber's apology posts, her deleted videos, her crying live stream before she went offline, all reposted, dissected, mocked. My mom called me one morning, her voice shaking. "Are you okay, sweetheart? This has gotten so big." I said I was fine, but I wasn't sure. Because even though I had every right to defend myself, I couldn't shake the guilt. I hadn't just exposed Amber, I'd ended her. Her sponsorships dropped her within a week. Friends unfollowed her. Her once perfect image turned radioactive overnight. Part of me wanted to reach out. The other part knew that would be for me, not her. Our family split down the middle. Aunt Carol didn't speak to my mom for weeks. She said I'd humiliated her daughter. I wanted to scream that Amber had done that all by herself. But I didn't. I'd said enough online. Some words aren't meant for the internet. Instead, I did something I hadn't done in years. I booked a therapy session. The therapist asked me what I wanted out of all this. I told her, peace. She said, then you'll have to stop waiting for an apology to give it to yourself. That hit me hard. So I started small. Deleted old screenshots, muted gossip threads, stopped reading comments. I went outside again, met friends for coffee, started feeling like a person instead of a headline. One night, I opened my phone and saw a message request. It was from Amber. Just one line. I'm sorry. I really am. I didn't reply. I didn't delete it either. I just left it there. A quiet reminder that closure doesn't always come wrapped in forgiveness. Because in the end, I didn't want revenge anymore. I just wanted my dignity back, and somehow, in the wreckage of everything she destroyed, I finally found it. It's strange, isn't it? How the people who know your softest parts are usually the ones who cut the deepest. For a long time, I believed family meant forgiveness no matter what. I thought keeping the peace was the same as keeping your dignity. But it's not. Silence just teaches people they can hurt you twice. Once when they do it, and again when you pretend it's fine. Amber and I haven't spoken since that last message. She's still offline, at least as far as I know. Sometimes I wonder if she's okay, if she's found her own kind of peace. I hope she has. I really do. But I also hope she finally understands what her content cost. Not just her reputation, but the trust of the people who loved her most. As for me, I learned that exposure doesn't always mean revenge. Sometimes it's just light, the kind that burns at first but helps you see what was always there, the truth. I don't scroll her name anymore. I don't check who's talking. I post when I feel like it, not when I'm trying to prove something. And every once in a while, I'll get a message from someone saying, "Thank you for sharing this." My sister did the same thing. I thought I was alone. That's when I realized, maybe this whole mess wasn't just for me. Maybe it was for everyone who's ever been turned into a joke by someone they trusted. If someone uses your pain for attention, don't stay quiet. Don't let them narrate your story. Tell it yourself, even if your voice shakes. Because Amber taught me the cost of exposure, but I taught her, and myself, the price of truth.